Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to go back to a couple of things that were brought up earlier. Mr. Concanon, in your written testimony, you said that 42% of SNAP benefits lived in a household with working adults. Can you positively affirm that the working adult in the household is the SNAP participant? That's a yes or no.
The earnings.
No, sir. Let me rephrase it.
Okay.
Can you positively affirm that the working adult in those households is the SNAP participant? It's a yes or no.
Yes.
You can positively affirm that.
Yes, because anybody living in the household, their income is included in the SNAP benefit.
Well, it doesn't indicate that the income's from that participant, because it could be another adult in the household. And I bring this up because
anybody in the household is included in the benefit.
Nearly 70, your own information says that in 2013, 3/4 had no earned income, meaning they were not working at all. That's from USDA. That's your number.
I'm not sure what number you're referring to.
I'm referring to the Food and Nutrition Service Characteristics of Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program Households, fiscal year 2013, U.S. Department of Agriculture.
Yes, so if you're talking about children, for example, almost half of the folks on food stamps are children, then seniors and people with disabilities.
No, I'm
parents
talking about,
looking for very young children.
42% of SNAP participants lived in a household with a working adult, and then your 2013 report says that 75% had no earned income. And I just want to point out that inconsistency for the record. Ms. May, you may be aware that in some, I beg your pardon?
We're happy to provide you a clarification on that in writing.
I would appreciate that, and I believe the committee would too. Ms. Mayhew, earlier when Mr. Concanon indicated that he had run the main program, it appeared that you wanted to make a clarification. Would you like to do that now?
No, I appreciate.
Would you turn on your?
Mr. Concanon's response. Clearly, he was a commissioner of a Department of Human Services. Since that time, the agency has certainly changed somewhat. It merged to create a much larger agency, but certainly I appreciate the history that Mr. Concanon has, particularly with this program in Maine. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Staying with you, and we touched on this a little bit before we had to break away, do you believe there's a growing epidemic of SNAP benefits exchanging their cards for drugs?
I do, and it is certainly, as we look across all of our programs within the department and our desire to evaluate holistically our efforts to improve the lives of the individuals that we're serving. And certainly, as I said, both looking at these welfare programs and their support of vulnerable families and my oversight of child welfare, I am incredibly concerned about the impact of drug abuse in Maine and the role that EBT cards are playing, being trafficked in for drugs and certainly for cash.
This past February, my home state of Alabama started to allow individuals with previous drug convictions to be eligible for benefits such as food stamps. And it's coming at a time when Alabama's monthly average SNAP enrollment is almost 20% more, has almost 20% more Alabama enrollees than we have in K through 12 public education system. So we're giving out food stamps, SNAP benefits faster than we're educating children to prepare them to join our workforce. Why shouldn't we be able to require drug testing in the program to ensure that taxpayer money is going toward the recipients it was intended? And why should the state be obligated to fund those programs if the individual engaging in activity that's harmful to them is not conducive to their reintegration into society?
Congressman, we support drug testing. We have worked to increase drug testing in Maine. We have been met with resistance. We share your observations that these safety net programs are, in fact, intended to certainly help individuals out of poverty onto that pathway of prosperity and employment, and that any amount of substance abuse is detracting from their ability to succeed and to be self-sufficient and, again, on that pathway to employment. It is clearly counterproductive to those goals.
Mr. Chairman, with the indulgence of the committee and the chair, if I may, I'd like to make one other point, and that is in regard to Ms. Dean's comment that we went through a recession and apparently believes that our economy has recovered. I would wonder if our economy has recovered, why there are almost 5 times as many people on food stamps as there were in 2008 and 3 times as many as in 2009. I yield back.
I thank the gentleman. The chair recognizes the gentlewoman from the